Welcome to another episode of Can Sleeplessness Kill? We'll find out what happens if we don't sleep. On Life Facts Daily, we will be having insight on what happens with sleep. You'll spend about a third of your life unconscious, lying still, snoring, drooling, and drifting through dreams. That adds up to around 30 years of your life lost to sleep. 30 years that you could have used to work, create, explore, or live. But what if you never closed your eyes again? No naps, no dozing off, just endless waking hours, infinite time, and limitless possibilities. Could you unlock superhuman potential? Or would your mind and body collapse in a madness? This is the story of what really happens if you stop sleeping, day by day, week by week, as your body and brain unravel. Why we sleep at all? Before we dive into the nightmare of sleeplessness, we need to understand what sleep actually does. Scientists still don't fully understand it, but they know it's not optional. Sleep isn't just about resting. It's about survival. Think of your brain like a busy city. During the day, cars, thoughts zoom down highways, neural pathways, lights are flashing, and the city is alive. But every night, when the city sleeps, the maintenance crews come out. Streets get repaired, garbage is collected, and new roads are built. Without that maintenance, the city breaks down. The same is true for your brain. Sleep allows memory consolidation. The brain processes and stores new memories. Neural repair. Damaged neurons are repaired, and connections are strengthened. Toxin cleanup. Harmful byproducts like beta amyloid, linked to Alzheimer's, are flushed out. Emotional regulation. Mood-controlling chemicals are reset. Physical repair. Hormones that heal muscles and tissues are released. Without sleep, none of these things happen. The longer you stay awake, the more your body and mind begin to break apart. The first 24 hours, running on fumes. Most people can handle a single night without sleep. Maybe you're studying for exams, working an overnight shift, or binge-watching a show. You'll feel tired, irritable, and foggy, but you can still function. Reaction time's slow. Your mood dips. You might eat more because your body is looking for energy wherever it can get it. But your overall system is still intact. In fact, many college students or new parents live in this state regularly. The danger is that you don't notice the damage right away. But under the surface, your brain is already falling behind on repairs. Toxic waste is piling up. And if you don't rest soon, things are about to get much worse. Day 2, the fog rolls in. After 36 to 48 hours, the cracks widen. Your brain slips into what scientists call a sleep mode. You're awake, but your neurons are firing slower. Your ability to focus collapses. Hormones that regulate appetite, leptin and ghrelin, go haywire. At first you may lose your appetite, but soon your body swings the other way, demanding sugar, fast food, and energy drinks. You crave quick calories because your brain is starving for fuel. Your mood plummets. You feel more anxious, more irritable, and strangely emotional. People around you might notice you snapping at them or withdrawing completely. And if you try to drive, you're as impaired as someone over the legal alcohol limit. That's why sleep-deprived driving kills thousands every year. Day 3, welcome to the zombie zone. 72 hours without sleep, and you're officially a zombie. Your body is still alive, but your mind is unraveling. You begin to lose interest in things you normally love. This is called anhedonia, the inability to feel pleasure. Food tastes dull. Music feels flat. Even sex drive disappears. Your brain is so deprived that it stops producing enough dopamine, serotonin, and endorphins, the very chemicals that regulate pleasure and pain. Every ache feels worse. Every disappointment feels crushing. At this stage, soldiers, factory workers, and doctors on long shifts are prone to catastrophic mistakes. In fact, some of the worst industrial accidents in history, like the Chernobyl disaster and the Exxon Valdez oil spill, have been linked to exhausted workers making bad decisions. Day 4, the body rebels. After 4 days, your body begins to break down completely. Microsleeps. Your brain starts shutting down for seconds at a time, even while your eyes are open. You might be sitting at your desk, and suddenly your brain is gone for 10 seconds, then comes back. It's terrifying because you don't even notice it happening. Motor skills collapse. You stumble when you walk. You drop things. You're more likely to injure yourself in even simple tasks. Digestion fails. Your stomach refuses to process food. Nausea, cramps, and diarrhea hit. You're exhausted, dehydrated, and barely hanging on. This is also when hallucinations begin. At first they're subtle, flashes of light, faint sounds, shapes in the corner of your eye. But soon they become impossible to ignore. The brain, desperate for stimulation, begins inventing its own reality. Day 5 to 6, psychosis arrives. By the 5th day, you're falling apart. Depression deepens into despair. Anxiety twists into paranoia. You might feel like people are watching you, whispering about you, even plotting against you. Hallucinations grow stronger. You may see people who aren't there, hear music in silence, or feel crawling sensations on your skin. Your memory collapses. You forget conversations seconds after they happen. Worse, your brain may start creating false memories, things that never happened but feel real. This is why sleep deprivation is sometimes used in interrogations. The brain becomes so confused and suggestible that it will believe almost anything. At this stage, your immune system is failing. A simple cold could knock you out. Cuts and bruises don't heal. You're falling into medical danger. Famous case studies, pushing the limits. Throughout history, people have pushed themselves, or been forced, to stay awake for extreme lengths of time. Peter Tripp, 1959, a radio DJ, stayed awake for 201 hours, over 8 days, for a publicity stunt. By the end, he was hallucinating demons in his studio, lashing out at friends, and becoming violently paranoid. Doctors noted permanent changes in his personality even after recovery. Randy Gardner, 1964, a 17-year-old high school student set the record at 11 days awake for a science fair. He experienced paranoia, hallucinations, and memory loss. But after sleeping for 14 hours straight, he recovered without lasting damage. Tony Wright, 2007, a British man attempted 266 hours, 11 days, to beat Gardner's record. He claimed to use raw foods and meditation to stay awake. His condition rapidly deteriorated, and Guinness refused to recognize his attempt due to health risks. Military experiments. During World War II, German soldiers used methamphetamine pills to stay awake for days during blitzkrieg assaults. The side effects were catastrophic: paranoia, psychosis, and violent breakdowns. Modern militaries still experiment with wakefulness drugs, but always with strict limits. These cases show one truth: nobody can cheat sleep for long. Beyond a week, the edge of madness. After a full week, your body enters uncharted territory. The hallucinations intensify into full-blown psychosis. You may not know what's real anymore. Conversations slip into nonsense. Your sense of identity begins to dissolve. The brain, deprived of REM and deep sleep cycles, becomes toxic. Beta amyloid plaques build up, the same substance linked to Alzheimer's disease. Your risk of permanent brain damage skyrockets. Eventually, your body collapses, either through forced microsleeps or total shutdown. Some scientists believe death would occur within 2 to 3 weeks without sleep. Others think the brain would simply shut down into a coma first. Either way, the end game is the same: madness, organ failure, and death. Why sleep deprivation is torture. Sleep deprivation has been used as a weapon. The CIA, KGB, and other agencies have used it in enhanced interrogation programs. It's considered a form of psychological torture because it breaks down the mind quickly. It causes paranoia and delusions. It makes victims highly suggestible. But there's a problem. Information gained under sleep deprivation is unreliable. A sleep-deprived person may confess to crimes they never committed or invent stories just to make the torment stop. That's how dangerous this state is. It literally warps reality. The science of sleep stages. To understand why sleep deprivation is so devastating, we need to look at what we lose. Sleep isn't just on or off. It happens in cycles. Stage 1 and 2. Light sleep, your body relaxes, heart rate slows, muscles loosen. Stage 3. Slow wave, sleep, deep sleep, where your body repairs tissues, releases growth hormone, and strengthens your immune system. REM sleep, where you dream. Critical for creativity, memory, and emotional processing. A full night's sleep cycles through these stages 4 to 6 times. Without them, your brain is like a phone that never charges, draining itself until it shuts off completely. What happens if you keep going? Nobody knows for sure. Guinness World Records no longer allows sleep deprivation records because of the danger. Scientists won't push test subjects beyond a few days. But based on what we know, by 10 to 14 days, psychosis and paranoia are overwhelming. The immune system collapses completely. Organ failure begins as the body can't repair itself. Death could occur within 2 to 3 weeks, depending on the person. The truth about sleep, your superpower. Sleep isn't wasted time. It's not laziness, weakness, or lost productivity. It's the most powerful tool your body has. A secret weapon that works silently every single night to protect your heart, boost your brain, regulate your emotions, heal your body, and keep you alive. Think about it. Every dream you've ever had, every memory you've ever kept, every injury you've ever healed, they all depend on sleep. Without it, your body unravels, your mind breaks down, and your very identity begins to fade. So the next time you're tempted to push through another all-nighter, remember, sleep isn't weakness. Sleep is survival. Because without it, you don't become superhuman. You stop being human at all. Why sleep is a biological superpower. Sleep may look like nothing, a silent blackout, a pause in the movie of your life. But under the surface, it's one of the most active, complex, and mysterious processes your body performs. Your brain clears out toxins that build up during the day, including beta amyloid, the same protein linked to Alzheimer's disease. Your heart gets a break, blood pressure lowers, and cardiovascular stress is reduced. People who consistently sleep less than 6 hours a night have a far higher risk of heart disease and stroke. Your immune system recharges. Sleep deprivation weakens defenses so much that even vaccines become less effective if you're underslept. Your hormones rebalance. Growth hormone surges, repairing tissues and muscles. Cortisol, the stress hormone, lowers. Hunger hormones reset, helping you maintain weight and metabolic health. In other words, sleep is your body's nightly tune-up, a pit stop that keeps the engine of your life running. Sleep and the brain, memory, creativity, and intelligence. When you close your eyes, your brain doesn't power down. It goes into overdrive. Memories from the day are replayed and strengthened, like files being backed up on a computer. The brain decides what to keep, what to discard, and how to connect new information with old knowledge. That's why pulling an all-nighter before an exam is a disaster. Your brain literally can't save the information properly without sleep. Sleep also fuels creativity. During REM sleep, the dream stage, your brain combines ideas in strange, unexpected ways. That's why artists, inventors, and scientists often say they dreamed solutions. Paul McCartney dreamed the melody to Yesterday. Einstein relied on vivid dreams to inspire his theories. Even problem-solving skills are sharpened during sleep. If you've ever gone to bed frustrated with a problem and woken up with the answer, you've felt the power of the dreaming brain. Emotional first aid, sleep and mental health. Sleep isn't just for the body, it's for the soul. Every night, REM sleep acts as a kind of overnight therapy session. Emotional memories are replayed, but the stress chemicals that come with them are reduced. You still remember the event, but the sting of pain is softened. That's why after a good night's sleep, yesterday's problems feel a little smaller. And why, after a sleepless night, even small issues feel overwhelming. Chronic sleep deprivation is linked to higher risks of anxiety, depression, bipolar disorder, and even psychosis. In fact, psychiatrists sometimes use sleep patterns as the very first sign that a mental health crisis is brewing. Physical healing, the body's night shift. When you're awake, your body is busy dealing with the world, moving, digesting, reacting. But at night, it turns inward, focusing on repair. Muscles are rebuilt stronger after exercise. Skin repairs damage from sunlight and pollution. The liver detoxifies the blood more efficiently. Cells across the body replicate and replace themselves. That's why athletes, bodybuilders, and top performers treat sleep as seriously as training. It's not just about working harder in the day. It's about recovering better at night. Even your longevity depends on sleep. People who consistently get poor sleep live shorter lives. The difference isn't small. We're talking years shaved off your lifespan. The hidden dangers of sleep deprivation. Skipping a few hours here and there may feel harmless, but the dangers add up quickly. One night without sleep slows reaction times as much as being legally drunk. 2 nights without sleep begins to cause hallucinations, memory lapses, and mood swings. Chronic undersleep increases risks of obesity, diabetes, heart disease, and Alzheimer's. Even small reductions, like getting 6 hours instead of 8, can impair judgment and weaken the immune system. And here's the shocking part. Your body doesn't fully adapt. People who sleep less may feel like they've gotten used to it, but studies show their performance, memory, and health keep declining. They just don't notice anymore. The stages of sleep, a nightly symphony. Every night, your brain cycles through stages of sleep. 1. Light sleep, stage 1 and 2. You drift in and out, muscles relax, breathing slows. This stage is essential for rest. 2. Deep sleep, stage 3, also called slow wave sleep. This is when your body heals, muscles repair, and the immune system strengthens. Waking someone from this stage is difficult. 3. REM sleep, rapid eye movement. This is when most dreaming happens. The brain is highly active, the body is paralyzed, and memories are being processed and integrated. A full sleep cycle lasts around 90 minutes, and we go through 4 to 6 cycles each night. Cutting sleep short means cutting off the later, longer REM cycles, the ones most critical for creativity and emotional balance. Sleep as a human superpower. So what does all this mean? Sleep is not just rest. It's an active, dynamic process that shapes who you are. It makes you smarter, calmer, stronger, healthier, and more creative. It protects against disease. It regulates your emotions. It fuels your relationships, your career, and your dreams, literally and figuratively. When you think of superpowers, you might imagine flying, invisibility, or time travel. But the closest thing we have in real life is something you already do every night: sleep. Sleep in a modern world, the silent crisis. Here's the problem. Modern life is stealing our sleep. Artificial light tricks our brains into staying awake. Phones and screens flood us with blue light that suppresses melatonin. Shift work, long commutes, and global work culture demand more waking hours than our biology can handle. Caffeine and energy drinks mask the symptoms, but they don't solve the problem. And so, billions of people walk around every day in a state of silent exhaustion. Weaker, sadder, less creative, and less alive than they could be. It's not just personal. On a global scale, sleep deprivation costs economies billions in lost productivity, medical bills, and accidents. From car crashes to factory mistakes, sleep loss is a hidden killer. Sleep is not wasted time, it's an investment. Imagine this. You give yourself 8 hours of sleep tonight. You wake up tomorrow sharper, faster, happier. You solve problems quicker. You connect with people better. You make fewer mistakes. Now imagine cutting that down to 5 hours. Tomorrow you drag through your day, forget details, snap at loved ones, and crave sugar to stay awake. Multiply that by weeks, months, years, and the difference is life-changing. Sleep isn't wasted time. It's the foundation of everything else. It's the fuel that lets you live the other 16 hours at your best. Final truth. Sleep is not weakness. Sleep is not indulgence. Sleep is not time lost. It is survival. It is power. It is the hidden superpower that keeps you alive and makes you fully human. Because without it, you don't just lose energy, You lose memory, identity, creativity, health, and even your sense of self. So tonight, when the world tells you to stay awake, push harder, grind longer, close your eyes. You're not giving up. You're charging up. Because the truth about sleep is this: it's not the end of your day. It's the beginning of everything else. Get enough sleep. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and like our channel. Life Fact Daily.